hello and welcome. I'm Parul Sharma and you're watching Zoom TV. Today's guest is the Liva Miss Diva Universe 2022, Divita Rai. Hello Divita, welcome to Zoom.
Lovely being here, meeting you. Thank you so much.
So we've of course chatted before, but
Yes.
now we're going to get to do our in-depth conversation and I'm very, very excited about it. Straight off the bat, tell me, how are the nerves? How is the prep going? Because I assume there's a lot of pressure, especially because we currently hold the crown, right? So, I
Absolutely.
mean, that must be really nerve-wracking. So talk to me about
There's
that.
definitely pressure to retain the crown. We're actually just 10 days away from departing to New Orleans. It's my very first time going to the States and exploring the city. So more than the pressure, I just want to be excited and be like, this is going to be once in a lifetime opportunity. I'll be like looking back and be like, I did that. I represented my country in that way.
Yeah.
So I just want to soak in every moment and
How's the journey been so far? What have you been doing for the prep? Give me a little bit of the insider details.
Definitely, it's always like an Olympics going into this because there's so much that training that goes into it. Not just your diet, your fitness, your nutrition. It's also your voice. How do you speak? How do you communicate? What are you saying? What do you stand for? So it's everything packaged together. And I have been training with Harnaaz, who is my voice trainer. I've been training at Reset, who are my gym, with Sameer Purohit, my Pilates trainer. So many people are involved in making a beauty queen.
It takes a village, right?
It does take a village.
Talking a little bit about Divita and where she comes from. You obviously come from a family of really strong women. So talk to me a little bit about what impact that has had on your upbringing and sort of how that has affected you in your journey so far.
Definitely. So I come from a matriarchal community and it's supposed to be a rarity in India because, we have a patriarchal system where men and boys are given greater preference.
Yeah.
So it's quite admirable for me growing up and watching these, my grandmother's sister having to go through a lot of troubles in terms of their own life. My grandmother's sister, for instance, lost her husband and her children at a very young age. But, just finding that support in the community of women around her and understanding that there's great value and significance in what your life has to offer. And I think that strength, looking at it as a young girl, it makes me really proud to be a woman and come from the community that I come from.
Absolutely. I think there are very few tribes and, places still in India that have a matriarchal sort of setup. So I would believe that would make a lot of difference to you. Now, of course, you have been a ramp model before and a print model before. And so you've kind of dipped your feet into the buzzing industry that we have. But I think the question begs to be asked, what are the plans? Is there any entertainment industry, Bollywood on the horizon? Do you kind of aspire to that at all?
So the main reason I entered into modeling was to get exposure so that I can compete at Miss Universe.
Oh,
so that's been my sort of backstory. I know a lot of people do a reverse of that.
Absolutely, yeah.
But for me, it was very clear that this is what I want to do out of my life. And post that, I don't know what opportunities will come my way. But regardless, this was the incentive. And I'm also an architecture student. So design is something I'm also passionate about. So let's see what happens. But, for now, the focus is the Miss Universe crown.
I love that. I love that kind of single-minded focus that you're kind of going into this with. Of course, also humanitarian causes kind of go hand in hand with pageantry. So talk to me a little bit about your advocacy, the backstory behind it, and why it's so important to you.
Definitely. I think platforms like Miss Diva, Miss Universe, they all give such great visibility to causes that are close to your heart. And what is it that one message as a young woman you want to give out? So for me, looking back, understanding how did I reach here, it all traced back to my father making the decision to educate himself. He comes from a family of coffee farmers back in south of India and to struggle to educate himself. And, it wasn't an easy journey. So growing up, it was always instilled in me that you have to honor your education because it has a great capacity to open up life for you the way that it did for him. So taking that forward, I felt that, education should be that one weapon that every girl should be given access to, or every boy, to understand what are their rights, what is it that they want to do out of their life. So education is something I've been working with. There are 3 organizations, Teach for India, there's Nani Kali, and there's also Child Rights in You. So these 3 organizations I've been working with to make education accessible to kids all over the country?
I think education is, I think, the most powerful kind of tool that you can have, right? You know, talking a little bit about your journey and sort of getting into the backstory of that. Now, of course, mentors and panelists are very instrumental and sort of very important in kind of getting you to where you are now. So tell me a little bit about some people who have been really instrumental in your journey, who you can kind of be like, okay, a lot of credit goes to them, and, you know, this is where I kind of tip my hat to them.
Yeah, I think definitely the national director, Natasha Grover, you know, she's the one who heads everything.
I've heard so much about her in the last couple of years. All of you like have such wonderful things to say about her every time.
And I think it's always because she has the best interest for the girl and for the country. And so she's always pushing you to perform your best on that stage and preparing you in terms of everything so that when you're there, you're ready to, you know, rock that stage.
Yeah.
So a lot of credit to her. And of course, the panelists who have been working with me closely, whether it be ramp walk, Alicia Routh, whether it be, you know, just makeup and hair. That was something I had absolutely no idea about. I didn't know how to do my makeup. I didn't know my hair. But Pooja and Reena from Chroma K and Aisha Seth, who's helping me with my makeup, they've literally like held my hand and handed me the tools that I needed to do my own hair and makeup.
Now, are you confident with like, you can do a quick fix, like a 5-minute
like a quick fix is great. I still am not professional. But huge credit goes to them.
Right. Yeah. And any other people who've, I mean, ramp walk, I guess, was a big one. And that must have kind of been with you since in the Miss Diva competition as well, right? So talk to me a little bit about that.
Ramp walk, so it's like you have heels, but then how do you walk in them? How are you graceful? You know, how do you exude confidence? And what is it that you want to project as a personality? So all of that was taught to me by Alicia Routh and, you know, just trying to do those turns that you see, those flawless cape movements.
Very scary turns for us mere mortals,
Like a 1.5 turn, a half turn, a mid turn. So understanding that, oh wow, you know, a lot of thought process and training goes into what can look so effortless.
Absolutely.
So definitely thanks to her. And communication as well, you know, Supreet Bedi, she's in charge of communication, and I mean, they're all such a delight to work with.
Absolutely. So Divita, of course, there are lots of exciting competitions and sub-competitions within the pageant, and I know that it's a cutthroat world and industry. So tell me, which sub-contests are you most looking forward to as of now? Like, what do you think you're going to be like, I'm going to kill this one?
I would love... I love the national costume regardless of, you know, because you get to showcase and portray an aspect of your country. And I think that's so special. Even if you haven't traveled around the world, you can at one glance travel like 90 or 89 other countries because of the way they represent it. And I think that's the most exciting one. It's fun, and you know, these girls come in such huge costumes. It's a lot of fun to watch that. But I'm most excited about evening gown. You know, I think it's very elegant, graceful, and you just feel like you are the queen and walk. So
I love that. I believe they've introduced a new round called My Walk, My Way. Talk to me a little bit about that.
So that's the swimsuit competition where you get to have a cape on you, and that cape is been sent to every country so that they can design it their own unique way. So again, there's an opportunity for them to, you know, showcase something about the country. And this year I will be wearing that, and it's a surprise for everyone out there.
It will be revealed. I've tried this lots of times where I get people to reveal the costume, the gown, and they give me like the bare minimum. They're like, you'll have to wait and watch. But on that note, whatever you can dish out about the national costume and your grand finale gown, do tell us, because we're excited.
The national costume is by Abhishek Sharma. And it's a theme that's not been done. You haven't seen it on any Miss India before, the prop and the theme.
Nice.
So that's interesting, something to watch out for. And my finale and prelim is by Falguni and Shane Peacock. That's again a beautiful color. It's something I fell in love with the instant I saw it. So
can't wait. I can't wait to see that. Tell me a little bit about like who has personally been your biggest inspiration in your journey, or, you know, someone who's been like your pillar of support in this entire kind of journey from start to now.
I would have to say my family. You know, each one of them have they've seen the worst of me and they've seen the best of me, and regardless, they've always given me room to fail and to get up, and they've always encouraged me.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of support is so important, especially in the industry that I'm stepping into, where so many times you are tested and you're tried, and people try to pull you down in terms of online comments and things like that. So having my family as my pillar of strength and talking to them at the end of the night, just dishing out what it is that I feel, and then from them telling that, no, you have it in you, you've got what it takes, just stick on to your gut feeling and continue on. I think that's important.
The Miss Universe pageant in itself has this year made some massive changes, and they've become a lot more inclusive. So I believe that they are now letting mothers, pregnant women and married women participate. So first of all, tell me, why is this inclusivity so important, A, and then B, what does it mean to you as a woman?
I think this inclusivity is so important because now it's not just a barrier to any one kind of woman. You know, initially it was thought out that she has to be of a certain height, a certain weight, a certain body type to get into this. But slowly, I think beauty pageants are breaking out of that mold and saying that women of this generation are so diverse. You know, they can be pregnant, they can be married, they can be divorced. Why should their dreams come in the way of these identity factors?
Absolutely.
You know, these are just labels that we put on other people. It has nothing to do with what they're capable of or what their dreams can be. So that's a very important stand that Miss Universe as an organization has taken. And it's a huge example for the rest of the organizations to follow suit. You know, if a brand like Miss Universe can portray any kind of woman, then what's stopping any of us to take note and be like, you know, the woman of today's century stands for a lot more. And what's important is not the size or the inches of her waist, but what she has to say and what she stands for.
100%. Tell me, you know, you are a part of this industry and it kind of is built on the pillars of like beauty standards and all of that. But like you said, we are kind of slowly dismantling that. So do you feel like there is a change, and kind of what are your thoughts on the beauty standards that kind of are set already and are slowly getting broken away? Because, you know, there are a lot of little girls or little boys just kind of looking up to these things and feeling a lot of pressure, right? So do you kind of have that? What do you feel about that?
Absolutely. You know, as a young girl, I remember like looking at magazines and newspapers, cutting pictures of actresses and celebrities and pasting them, and not understanding that my body will never look like that. You know, and these pictures are edited, they're photoshopped. So the truth is...
Heavily edited.
Heavily edited. So the truth is that you have your own unique self. Try to love it, you know, try to embrace it. Even though it's hard, change is hard. You know, even though we've made so many, set so many standards, we're breaking out of so many stigmas and stereotypes. It is hard to get into the mindset of every young girl and boy, but the more and more we represent this change, the more and more it becomes visible. And I think that's important, that representation and visibility of a different kind of a woman.
Yeah, and I think we're normalizing everything now, and I feel like that is a very important conversation that is to be had.
Absolutely. Like, it's okay to be seen without hair and makeup. It's okay to, you know, show that vulnerable, that weak side of you, that I went through this too. You're not alone in it.
Absolutely. You know, we are of course so proud of Harnaaz for kind of having gotten that crown home and gotten that glory back to us after so long. Now, I know you have been friends with her for a while. You've known her for a long time. You guys knew each other pre to this also, because the last time we spoke, you guys... Tell me a little bit about that. How long have you known each other? What is the bond you share, and kind of has she been helpful in this entire journey? What has she sort of kind of equipped you with for this Miss Universe upcoming pageant?
So to answer the first part of your question, I met her last year when I was competing for Miss Diva 2021, and where she won and I came second runner-up. So since then, I've known her, I've met her briefly. And then after that, she crowned me. So that's when I got to bond with her a little more. And the best tip that she gave me, it may sound cliche, is just to own your strengths, you know, own your strengths and who you are as a person. Because going there are going to be so many representatives, the best of their country coming forward. So at that point, it doesn't really matter if, you know, of course, India's won before. But what's to say India can't do that again? You know, fingers crossed, of course. But to go with that mindset and mentality, you know, that nothing is pre-decided or there's no bias or prejudice going into it. You are just as capable as any other delegate going there, and that's the mindset you should have. And I think it's very important to have that cleared out.
In the world of pageantry from India, do you have any people that you kind of look up to and people who really inspired you?
I would have to say Sushmita Sen, man. She's the queen of hearts.
What a strong, independent, beautiful woman, man.
Just the other day, I was listening to her speak at an interview, and you know, the way, the command that she has, the control that she has, that's the kind of woman I aspire to every single day.
I love that. Okay, and lastly, now let me set the stage for you.
Okay.
Lights are dimmed, words are happening, envelope is being opened. Your name is announced. Okay, and we've got it again. So, what is the first thing you're going to do, and what is that moment going to mean for you?
Oh, wow. I think first thing is that expression. That is this really happening? Me? So, of course, that, you know, no matter how much you practice it, it just happens the way it does, unfolds, you know, on stage. Definitely that excitement. The first thing is I'll probably just be looking for my country flag in the audience.
Oh, I love
you know,
that.
and be like, we did it. We did
I love that. What does this title mean to you?
It means everything. You know, there's so much work that's gone behind this. Honestly, I already feel like a winner because I feel like in a lot of ways I've overcome that courage, that confidence that I didn't have before. Someone who was shy, who was underconfident, to now who's actually owning her voice and being like, my journey is unique, my story is unique. And, you know, why should I let any other people tell me otherwise?
I love that.
And that journey is so important. That's why I love beauty pageants, because they introduce the best version of yourself to you. So yeah, that's what it means to me.
I love that. Well, on behalf of me and the entire nation, I can safely say best of luck. We're so proud of you. And I really, really hope you cinch it. But if not, I hope you have the best time ever. Thank you so much for joining me here at Zoom.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Parul. Thank you.